This figure that's coming out now is the overall picture, not just on those who are in hotel accommodation. And they're looking at those who come in from Ukraine, Afghanistan, Hong Kong. It's a big picture. Yeah, those that have come over as part of the resettlement schemes to help those out in Ukraine and Hong Kong and, of course, in Afghanistan do make up a significant proportion of the uplift here. But also, we're looking at a very significant increase in the number of student visas that have been issued. Now, this was taken over a 24-month period because of the COVID lockdown, when not that many came across. And compared to 2019, pre-COVID levels, there's been a 77% increase in student visas, been driven by a lot of visa applications from India and from Nigeria. But the irony is that the figures are coming out after we left the EU, because the concern was about the free movement of people, and particularly perhaps East European workers coming here and taking jobs, as people said. This now is indicating that perhaps there is a unique set of factors once we're outside the EU. Yes, that's right. The visa schemes that they have now, only 11% of those who are applying for work visas in the UK are from the European Union. The vast majority of people are coming from outside the European Union. But the issue, of course, for those who are concerned about overall migration numbers is the fact that you've got 500,000 people coming into the country compared to those that are going out of the country. And local authorities have to look after those in many cases in terms of providing social, housing, even health and so on. It's an extra pressure on services. And it's also for the government very difficult, because we had Suella Braverman in the Home Office committee yesterday saying that she acknowledged the UK had lost control of borders. She'd be looking at this figure of 100,000 for net migration. We've not heard the figures. She'll be lucky. Exactly. And the government really trying to balance figures when 500,000 is way outside the ballpark. Yeah, that 100,000 figure is really taking Suella Braverman back to the claims that David Cameron made when he became Prime Minister, when he said he wanted to get net migration down to the tens of thousands, so below 100,000. That's just a way off it, not even in sight at the moment. But we know that Suella Braverman wants to bring net migration down. She clashed, we're told, with the Liz Truss government because they wanted to push an expansion of migration to help boost the economy. Quite what Rishi Sunak wants to do in terms of overall migration numbers, not exactly clear. And again, we are discussing what's happening about illegal migration in terms of the boats coming across. Albanian, as you've been reporting, gangs, people smugglers suggested of being operating that. I mean, net figures in terms of migration, this particular 72,000 for asylum seekers. But there's a little bit more detail coming through about this issue of the Albanian numbers coming through. Yeah, that's right. So 42,000 people have arrived in small boats so far this year. Many of those, the vast majority of those, go on to claim asylum. Overall asylum claims for the past year are 72,000. We're told that 13,000 asylum applications are from Albanians, with about half that number having come across on small boats. And interestingly, in terms of the success of asylum applications, well, more than 70% of those who claim asylum are granted asylum at some point. However, when you look at Albanians and then whittle it down further to Albanian men... Right, single men. 90% of those are not granted asylum. Only 10% are. Which begs the question, if that's the case, why are they not on the next flight off to Tirana? Well, the reason is that a number of those claiming asylum go on to claim that they are victims of trafficking, human and modern slavery. And, of course, that then... So that's another process starts a tandem process to asylum in which case, there is a lower threshold for proof that you have been a victim of trafficking, and further down the road, in many cases, they're granted leave to remain in the country.
Right, OK. And obviously you'll be reporting on that as we get the latest...
One note of encouragement, actually, on the Albanian asylum, or not asylum seekers, but Albanians coming across on the small boats. The Home Office confirming that they've seen proportionally that number dropping. They are the dominant group coming across, but the numbers are decreasing, we're told, in recent weeks.
And the weather's getting worse as well for the winter. So